Hey guys, it's Alexis, and I was just here to film my March book haul. I didn't buy that many books in March, because for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I basically have bought like over 100 books in the last like 3 months alone. So, I kind of have to really start limiting myself. So this month, I kind of only bought books that I really wanted to get, which were new releases or a book series that I'd read that I really wanted to own physical copies of, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's get started. And I also did buy some bookish merchandise type stuff that I will show you guys. So let's get to it. The first 2 books I bought this month were the 2 big releases in March that I was very excited for. And for me, that was Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I have been dying for this book to come out for several months now since I first heard about it. The premise is that it's basically like this desert world, and there's like this girl who's a gunslinger named Armani, and she's like, I don't know. I've also heard that there's like X-Men type elements in it, which is awesome, and I'm very excited for that. The other book I bought this month that was one of my big releases was The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, which I love this cover, and then on the back it's like the opposite, and the spine is very pretty. This is a book about a girl who's dealing with the aftermath of her rape, and I've been wanting to read it since a friend of mine had gotten an ARC copy of it. I'm very excited. The next book I purchased this month was the 10th anniversary edition of The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This is the second copy of this book that I own, and I kind of bought this totally on a whim. I didn't even realize that they were putting out a 10th anniversary edition. But I read this when I was in school, and I actually read it at a very pivotal moment in my life, so this book has a lot of meaning to me personally, and I love the new cover, and I love the spine because it has like one of Liesl's drawings on it. But what's really cool about this edition is that it actually includes like notes that Marcus Zusak had written while he was actually writing the book. So that's super cool, and I wanted to reread this book this year anyway, so I'm probably going to read this edition so I can read all of the cool little extra stuff. The next 3 books I bought this month, I actually bought both in ebook format, and I read them in ebook format this month, and then I loved them so much, I decided I needed to own them in physical copies as well. And that was the Captive Prince trilogy by C.S. Pacat. So that includes Captive Prince, Prince's Gambit, and King's Rising. I read this whole trilogy this month, which I'll talk more about in my wrap-up, but I loved them so much that I was like, you know, who needs to own a physical copy of them so she can reread them anytime she wants? That was me. And the next 3 books I bought this month are actually 3 manga that I got on sale, and that was issue 11 of d.gray Man by Katsura Hoshino, volume 12 of d.gray Man, and volume 13 of d.gray Man. This is actually my favorite anime manga series. I've actually read the whole thing, or up into its current point already, online, but the anime was just greenlit for the summer, or the new anime was just greenlit for the summer, so I want to reread the whole story again so I can be prepared for it, and that means that I'm trying to go back and actually collect all of them in a physical copy. So I own volumes 1 through 10 already, and so now I own 11, 12, and 13. The next thing I got was, of course, my Owl Crate box for March, and the theme this month was writer's block, and so I will open this bad boy up and show you guys what all came in it. So we got these nifty little buttons from Bookworm Boutique, and they say, I start a new adventure every time I open a book, let's live in fictional worlds, and I read to live, I live to read. We also got these out of print socks, which are banned books, so it has like the titles of banned books, and then it has them like crossed out on one of the socks and then like actually written on the other. We got this cool little pin, which is meant to look like a feather pen. This is really cool, and it writes really well, so yay! We also got this little thing that says 642 tiny things to write about, so it basically has like little prompts So you can like write about stuff, and they're very short, so you can do like one a day, and it's like perfect just to get you writing. The book we received this month was The Serpent King by Jeff Sentner, which I was very excited that this was the book for the month because I've been dying to read this book. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and this book is about like 3 friends and like their kind of personal struggles, and I know it has a lot to do with like growing up in a small town and religion, and that's kind of something that I can relate to because I grew up in a small town in a very religious family, and so I'm very excited to read it. And the last 2 things I got this month were like bookish merchandise, and so one of them was a candle from Novelly Yours that is titled Gansey, and the scent on it is mint, wheatgrass, leather, and sweater, and it smells amazing. I don't actually have the candle because it's actually burning right now, but it's great. And the last thing I got this month was the Raven's Prophecy Tarot set that were created and designed by Maggie Stiefvater, of course to go along with like the Raven Boys, which of course has tarot cards like throughout the entire series. So they're like super pretty, and like each suit kind of has like a theme. So the cup suit is like all ravens, birds, and they're super pretty. Coin suit is all like flowers, vines, things that have to do with nature, which I would assume is like meant to represent Cabe's water. And the suit of swords all has to do with like hands. And the wand suit all has to do with some sort of light source, so flames, lights, those kinds of things. Alright guys, so that is my March book haul. I didn't buy a lot of books this month. I probably won't buy a lot of books next month either. But I got to read a lot this month, so that was pretty awesome. So stay tuned. I should have my March wrap up in the next couple of days. And stay tuned because we'll also be doing Favorites Friday on Friday. Bye guys!